One of the biggest challenges that people talk to me about when it comes to blogging is finding the time. It's time consuming, and let's face it, we're all busy. So today I want to talk to you about losing the overwhelm when it comes to blogging and finding time. Hi, I'm Colette Broomhead. I help people who want to quit their 9 to 5 for good and create a business doing something they love. And this is Business Class Monday. So let's face it, managing a blog is hard work. There's a lot that goes into it. You have to come up with your ideas for your posts. You have to research them. You have to actually write them. Then there's sourcing amazing images, proofreading, promoting the posts, and just so much that goes into it. Then not to mention all the technical side. Don't even get me started on that. So it is time consuming. So how can we find more time? Because at the end of the day, blogging is important and it will have a massive impact on your business if you do find the time and you make it a priority. Which brings me to point number 1, which is all about understanding what your priorities are. If blogging is a priority, then you can choose to find the time for it. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, every single one of us. And it's a choice what you choose to prioritise to spend your time on. So here's a little exercise that you might like to try. Jot down what your top 3 priorities are. One might be blogging and making a success of your business. Perhaps another one would be your family. Whatever they are, have a think and jot down those 3 priorities. And then spend some time jotting down what you actually spend your day on. Where do you spend your time? You might even want to go so far as to track it for a day. Every hour, jot down what you spent that hour doing. And I think you'll be surprised at how little time you spend on those things that you've listed as your priorities. It's easy to say that something is a priority. It's less easy to actually make it one. So my first tip for you is to really think carefully about, firstly, is blogging a priority for you? And if it is, making a conscious choice to give it the time it deserves. My second tip is to do less, and less when it comes to your blog. I guess that sounds pretty obvious. If blogging's taking up too much time, then do less. What I mean by that is you don't have to do everything. It can be so easy to get caught up in the idea that you have to be doing everything, trying every tactic, being on every social media channel. And the truth is you don't. In fact, by doing less, you will have much more impact. So just choose one social media channel, maybe 2 at most, where you think you can have most impact, where your ideal readers and clients are hanging out, where you feel comfortable yourself, and focus just on those. If you've set yourself a schedule to blog 3 times a week and it's killing you, then just blog once a week, but be consistent. Keep that as a minimum. Do less. My third tip is to break it down. The idea of blogging, when there are so many different things that you have to do, can be overwhelming. And it's when you feel overwhelmed that you start to feel that you don't have time for something. So take all those separate tasks involved and break them down into more manageable, bite-sized pieces. And that will reduce that feeling of being overwhelmed and help everything seem a bit more manageable and like it's going to take up less time. So on to point number 4, which is to create a schedule. It's not sexy, but it works. If you plan out what you're going to do every day, each week, it becomes so much easier to do. You start to build a routine. You know that on Mondays, that's the day when you're going to do your content creation. Perhaps on Tuesdays, you're going to do your images, and on Wednesdays, you're going to do your social media promotion. However it works best for you. Create a schedule so that you know from day to day what you need to do, and you've broken it down into chunks. It feels manageable, and there's no sort of sitting there and getting lost. Think about what the best times are for you to do certain tasks. I know, for example, that I have to get my content creation done first thing in the morning, because after that my brain becomes too frazzled and it takes twice as long. If I sit in an evening and try to write a blog post, I get nowhere. If I start first thing in the morning, I can get it done like that. So work out what the best times are for you to do the tasks that you have to do for your blog. Have you ever done or heard of batch cooking? It's basically where you cook up a whole load of one meal at a time, batch it out, put it into portions and freeze it. So you've saved yourself a whole heap of time by doing all the work in one go, and just creating more at once. And the same can apply to your blog. So where possible, think about where you can batch your blogging tasks. As an example, when I record videos like this, I don't just record one at a time, I'll record 2 or 3. The reason for it is that it takes time to get the equipment set up, the camera, the light, the microphone. I put makeup on and make myself look more presentable than I perhaps would if I was just sitting working at my laptop all day. And all of that takes time, so why do it 3 different times for 3 different videos when I can just do it once and record 3 videos in one go? It just makes sense. And lastly, just don't be too hard on yourself. Sometimes that feeling of being overwhelmed by something and not having enough time is self-inflicted, and it's because we're stressed and we're overworked and we need a break. So make sure that you fit in time to relax and to take a break, and if one week it's all too much, give yourself a week off. You know, it's not the end of the world. Be kind to yourself. Make sure that you're still enjoying what you're doing and it's not turning into something that's going to stress you out and make you unhappy, because the whole point of this is doing something that you love. If you are seeking more blogging goodness, then I would love to invite you to my free 7-day blogging challenge, which starts on the 22nd of May. I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be fantastic. Basically, for 7 days, those who sign up will receive a daily email taking them through the steps of planning, creating and promoting a blog post. And I'll be sharing all my tips and strategies for maximising traffic, engagement and subscriptions. And as well as that, you'll have access to a private Facebook group. And the benefit of that is that you get to share your experience with other bloggers who are going through the same journey as you. You can support each other, you can help promote each other's posts, you can share ideas, you can share successes. And also I'll be there along the way. I'll be giving feedback and I'll be doing daily live Q&As in the Facebook group so that you can get any frustrations or problems sorted out and you won't be alone. So if that sounds like something that you would be interested in, then I would love you to join, and you can join by clicking the link up here. There's also a link in the description and again in the blog post that accompanies this video. So I want to make it as easy as possible for you to come join the fun. And with that, I shall wish you a very happy week and I'll see you next week. Bye!